Hello, everybody. Just changing a few settings here, real quick. Okay. Make sure I turn Do Not Disturb on this time. So, hello. Just wait a minute so notifications can go out and people can join in. Oh, and see those little cherry tomatoes right there? I'm going to be eating those here real soon. Hi, Dana. Hello, Loves to Travel. Sharon, hello. Vincent. Hi, David. Hello, Dale. Hi, Lady Di. Okay, I think we'll go ahead and get started with the update. Yeah, it has been raining out here, and everything's all wet outside. So I'm actually sitting just inside my screen door and staring at these tomato plants, which those three red ones are going to be eaten here real soon. So, anyways, let's get on with the update because there are some very important things I want to share with y'all about what's going on with the channel and the website and some of the social media stuff. Um, Dane is telling me wait for more people to join. Yeah, David, we still got a few birds out there, but we're about at that time period that we're going to start hearing some coquis too. I hear a few out there, but not many. Well, we have a second for wait for more people to join, but I'm usually at my average viewers right now. I think there's what 24 um, for my live streams. Well, that could be a risk that I may be willing to take, Dana. Yeah, actually, David, those three right there are ripe and ready to eat. So, like I said, I'm going to be eating them soon. Hello, Hannah. Dale is asking, ever eat any fried green tomatoes? Yes, I have, but not a big fan. Not enough there to make tomato sauce. They're actually just little cherry tomatoes. So it's three little bites and they're gone. Hi, Jan. Hi, Goliath. Goliath's here too. Well, don't forget about the red tomatoes, Storm. Hi, Frankly. Okay, well, it's been over 4.5 minutes, so I think I'm going to go ahead and get started. Um, a lot of people will probably watch this on the replay, anyways, and it's not going to be a very long stream. Most of what I want to share is actually very quick and straight to the point. No, Sharon, he won't bother them. So, okay, first of all, what I'm going to share with you is actually going to affect the Doing Hawaii channel pretty much across the board. It's going to affect the YouTube channel itself. It's going to affect the website, and it's also going to affect my social media posting. Yes, and it has been a long time, and so I tend to do these when there's some significant information about what's going on with the channel and things like that. So first, we'll start with the channel, as a lot of my regular subscribers have probably already seen. Is I'm not posting as much content. Uh, Hello, Sophia. As I normally do. Basically, for the last couple months, it's been pretty much just the Hawaii Volcano Watch Report, maybe a quick little video here and there. And there's a reason behind that, which I will get to in just a few. Um, Secondly, so basically what this means for the website is that that pattern of not posting a lot of content is going to continue for a little while. And this reason also affects the website and my social media. So what I think I'm going to do is go ahead and give the information and then explain how it's going to affect everything moving forward. So recently, and this very first bit that I say is pretty much going to set the tone for everything that comes after. Recently, actually, it's been back in August, I was having some severe abdominal pain. So I went to the emergency room and they did a CT scan, and they found that there was nothing wrong with my stomach. Uh, they didn't even see any signs of potential ulcer. However, the CT scan did show something else, which is interesting because 90% of the time, this particular problem is found incidentally, just like it was found with me. And what that is I have a 7.5 centimeter adrenal mass on my left kidney. Now, 7.5 centimeters is 2.95 inches in length, and that is actually pretty big. And so, of course, the ER doctor said I need to get this checked out. But let's back up just a minute, because there's more. Not only do I have the adrenal mass on my left kidney, I also have a very large gallstone in my gallbladder as well, which could be what was causing the abdominal pain to begin with. But they say that they don't believe that that is the case because of where the pain was located and how I was experiencing it. So they still haven't figured out what's causing the actual abdominal pain, but it doesn't look like either one of these two other things that they did find is the cause. However, good news is that in the CT, they showed that the abdominal wall, the spleen, the pancreas, the liver, short of the gallstone, the bowels, the stomach, the pelvis, the lower lobes of the lungs are all unremarkable. That they seem to be completely normal pathology-wise. So that's good. So it's just the adrenal mass and the gallstone. Gallstone, no big deal. They're going to want to remove that at some point as well. Now, they wanted me to also have some blood tests done. So CBC was done, and that basically come back completely normal. White blood cell count, red blood cell count, hemoglobins, platelets, all that good stuff. And was completely normal. So the white blood cell count being normal, that's actually a very good sign. Because this adrenal mass can actually is most likely one of three particular things. However, I am waiting on the results of a secondary blood test, which is going to help determine exactly what one of the three things that the adrenal mass is. So for those that don't know, on top of your kidneys, you have these little caps. Those are your adrenal glands. And the adrenal glands are responsible for producing not only the hormone that we are most commonly aware of, called adrenaline, but they also produce other hormones such as cortisol and etc. And cortisol is kind of the one that we're looking at right now. So anyways, what the adrenal mass can be, one, it could be just what they call a non-functioning tumor, which means it's just a fatty tumor sitting there doing absolutely no harm. It's just taking up space, but it still probably needs to come out. The second potential possibility that this could be is what they call a functioning tumor. And a functioning tumor basically is the same thing as a non-functioning tumor, with the difference that the tumor is producing hormones. So it's producing adrenaline or cortisol or whatever other host of other hormones that the mass can produce. Now, those two are preferential as to if that's what you've got, that's what you would want to have, obviously, because the fix for both of those are pretty much removal of the mass and letting the body do its healing. Except for the functional one, from what I understand, is there could be some hormone therapy take place for a couple weeks after surgery in order to let the other adrenal gland kind of catch up and learn to take up the load. So the third, and of course the worst option, is adrenal carcinoma, which would be cancer. However, my white blood cell count don't show any abnormalities, so it doesn't look like my body's fighting any type of infection, including that of potential cancer. But more plus blood tests have to be done, and that's what we're kind of waiting on. However, from the blood test that my doctor has ordered, they're suspecting potential functioning tumor because they think that I might actually have developed what's called Cushing's syndrome. And what Cushing's syndrome is basically an overproduction of cortisol, which is one of your stress hormones, and that can cause fatigue, energy loss, a host of different symptoms. And the way that they test for that is basically they give you and this is funny too, they give you a 1 milligram dose of dexamethasone, which if any of y'all are into politics, you know the name of that particular cortical steroid because it's been in the news recently. But anyways, so dexamethasone, 1 milligram to suppress cortisol function in the adrenals. And then of course the next following morning they want blood tests so they can check the hormone levels to see if they have been suppressed. If they have been suppressed, then it probably isn't a functioning tumor. However, if they haven't been suppressed, then it's probably a functioning tumor. Now, a lot of people and doctors would instantly say, okay, we need a biopsy. However, my doctor thinks a biopsy may not be the best idea, and his reasoning and logic, really kind of make me feel that any biopsy where potential cancer is expected probably isn't a good idea. And and the reason is the doctor said that if this potentially was adrenal carcinoma or one of the other potential cancers that it could be, that taking a biopsy could be very bad. That because when they insert the needle and they take the sample, when they extract the needle, they're going to pull potential cancer cells down the needle path as the needle is being extracted, which could allow the cancer cells to then move around the body and metastasize. So no, we are not getting a biopsy. I do actually have surgery scheduled. So that moves into the next step and how this is all affecting the channel. But let me back up. I also recently had Friday the CT scan on the lungs. My surgical oncologist has wanted that to make sure my lungs were clear and make sure there was no spots or tumors or anything like that. I want to make sure that basically just kind of, I guess, checking all the bases just to make sure, because nothing was on the spleen or the pancreas or anything like that in the first CT, which means that, and that's usually where, if these things are cancerous, they like to go first, and then of course to the lungs and stuff like that. But CT scan come back clean. He said that my lungs were pretty much unremarkable. He says the only thing that he saw in my lungs was it looked like inflammation in the air sacs. And he said that's probably because, I used to be a smoker. And so, of course, that's healing up. But he says other than that, there's no worries. He says it doesn't, you're not on oxygen or any of that. So we're not looking at emphysema or anything like that. So he says it's probably just because, I was, smoked for so long, and that it's going to take time to clean up. So lungs are clean. We're good to go. So whatever this is, whether it just be a non-functioning, functioning, or carcinoma, it hasn't moved anywhere. It's all right there. So they're going to do a wide radial dissection and remove it. So Um, how that all affects the channel? Well, obviously, I got a lot to deal with there, and so that doesn't leave a lot of time to do a lot of video work and stuff. But the biggest hurdle I'm dealing with right now is my energy levels and stamina. I just pretty much don't have any stamina. You know, because I don't know how to explain. I'm not going to go into all the details of the symptoms and stuff. It's just, I feel okay. I don't feel unhealthy. I just have a lot of, I'm just tired a lot. And this abdominal pain, which is really weird, it only affects me, after I've been asleep for 4 or 5 hours, it wakes me up, hurting. And if I stay in bed and try to, push through it, I just end up hurting worse and longer. So I get up. So I've been averaging 4 or 5 hours for sleep, but then I, get, a couple good days where I'm able to catch up. So it's an up and down thing. So I just don't really have the energy to run around the island and film things and sit there and do the editing and oh my goodness, and all the other work that goes along with it. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to continue doing the Hawaii Volcano Watch reports because that doesn't require a huge expenditure of energy for me. And so that's a lot easier for me to do, and I can actually probably do that from hospital bed if I needed to, which I probably will, which is leading me down the path to the update on the channel and all this stuff. So that's the part for the YouTube channel. Don't expect a lot of video content there for now, short of what I'm thinking about doing, and this is all up to y'all. So leave me in the comments or over on the Facebook page or something like that, what y'all think. But I'm thinking about doing like a vlog, maybe every couple days, do a live video or just a recorded vlog of what's going on. And and what the current situation, with me is with all this. So y'all can kind of follow along. I know it would be educational, and heck, it might even help someone else out there that may be going through a similar thing, or needs a reason to go to the doctor. Because with this being 7.5 centimeters in size, the odds of me having it for a long period of time, and we're talking maybe somewhere in the range of 10 to 15 years, is very real. So I've had this for a long time, and symptoms that I just kind of um, chalked up to maybe getting older, never really gave much thought to because, I wake up one day, don't feel good, but then the next day I'm fine, I'm good for a week or 2 weeks or a month or whatever. So I just ignored them thinking, oh, I'm just getting older, it's to be expected. May not necessarily been the case. I perhaps should have went to the doctor sooner, a lot sooner, and just voiced my concern about some of these things, even if they were just me getting older. They would have been able to tell me that. So that's my advice to anyone out there in a case like that. If you've noticed changes in just the way you are, your body better than anybody else, then don't hesitate. Go get something checked. Just talk to your doctor, medical care, or whatever. Professional. Whatever. Just get information. Educate yourself on why you're feeling that way. That's where I failed. So, what does this mean for the website? Well, first of all, let me say thank you to all website subscribers that have purchased a paid subscription over on the website. I absolutely do appreciate that support you have shown me there, and it's definitely helped keep the website fees and hosting service fees paid, all that good stuff. However, I just recently, and these individuals probably have already received the email that their subscription service has been canceled. I'm not going to be able to put more content up there. I'm not going to be able to work on the development of the website, any further than it is right now. Um, so since I cannot provide what I've promised to provide over there, it would not be fair in order, to keep, basically memberships going. So I have deactivated all current subscriptions. Free accounts are still available. All subscribed accounts that were paid once your current subscription time, which could be, in this month or into next month already. As soon as that expires, your account will revert back to a free account. You'll still have access to everything there. And I will probably be taking all the subscriber only content and moving it into the guest availability. So I will probably make that open for anyone that has a guest account. Not sure what I'm going to do with that yet. I really haven't thought about it much, but that might be a good idea. So no new subscriptions are being taken on the website, and all current subscriptions have been canceled. So whatever paid access is left on your account, you still have, but you will not be recharged, or you will not be renewed. Or the renewal charge will not be applied in your next billing cycle. So you don't have to worry about doing anything. I've taken care of all that for y'all. All right, so that's the website. Moving on to social media. Social media, pretty much, my activity on social media pretty much won't change a lot because I really don't really do much there. I post the flowers and all the cool little things I find on Instagram. Um, so I will probably still be doing that occasionally. Uh, so you're going to see a decrease in basically social media activity, my responding to comments and things like that. It all depends on how I feel and what type of time I have available. So let's see. I think that pretty much covers it. The oh, Scott from Hawaii Tours is interfering. Just so y'all know, don't touch my tomatoes.
I wanted one.
No,
I saw it on the stream.
I know, and this is what I'm talking about. Jeez, you see that? You just trying to steal my tomatoes, and I told all of y'all I was going to eat those after this. So, good thing I'm out here with a camera. So, anyways, um, I still was, let's see, where was I before I was so rudely interrupted? Um, yeah, so social media. So I'll be posting there, but most I think that stuff is probably going to be dealing with what's currently going on with me. I am scheduled for surgery. Uh, I think I mentioned that earlier. They're going to do a wide radial dissection of the mass. I believe they're also going to be taking the gallbladder and gallstone out at the same time. Um, which they left that up to me whether I wanted to do that or not. And I figured, if I'm going to be on the table anyways, they might as well just do them both and get it over with. That way, I may hurt a little extra more after surgery, but I will only have to go through recovery once. So that's my idea for that one. So yes, if they can do them both at the same time and it's medically safe and okay, go for it. So that's the plan. Um, so again, if y'all are interested in like a vlog, following this process, I'd be more than happy to do that. Noi, hello Noi. Um, and I probably will do that anyways, just kind of as mental therapy for me. But mentally, that's the question. So how am I doing mentally on all this? I'm actually okay with it. Um, to me, it's just a new adventure. It's a new problem that needs to be researched and explored and solved. It's a puzzle. It's it's just yeah. I don't. I'm okay. Charles is very weird when it comes to things like this. He doesn't get upset about problems. He gets excited about problems because it's a problem that can be solved. And so that's where my mind goes with it. It wants to go to the scientific aspect. So I've actually done a lot of research, on what this is, what it could be, and what treatments will be done, etc., depending on what it is. And in this particular case, anything usually over 4 to 6 centimeters, regardless of whether it's a non-functional or functional tumor or adrenal carcinoma, they want to remove in general. So just the fact that it's 7.5 centimeters in size means that it's a surgical candidate, period, which I'm completely fine with. Though I'm a little apprehensive about the whole process, but I think surgery is just naturally going to do that to one's mentality. So that's that. If you have any questions, now's the time to put them in the live chat here. I will be more than happy to take a look and answer any of them that I can to the best of my ability. I have learned a lot about this, And based on what I learned, diagnosing myself, which of course, the medical industry basically says you should never do, is self-diagnosis. But based on what blood tests I've got, the lung scans, the other information from the doctors, and of course my research of what this is, as I'll be honest with you, I think I have what will consider to be a functioning tumor. Therefore it's producing hormones, because that does seem to kind of coincide with some of my other symptoms. My white blood count being normal, the other CBC counts being normal. Uh, don't give hint to potential carcinoma, but doesn't rule it out. This next set of blood tests that we're actually waiting on, they take about a week to week and a half for the results to be produced. And it's been about a week since I've had that blood test, so uh, we should be getting that information sometime this coming week, or this, well, I guess today's Sunday, so sometime this week. Um, and that blood test will actually probably tell us if it's a functioning tumor or not. It still could be a non-functioning, and my other symptoms could be something else. Who knows? So, thank you, Dana, Noy, Dale, and everybody. I appreciate your support and words of encouragement. Did they do tumor markers? No, CJ. They did not. But I'm still, in the process of getting, everything, all the prep work and everything done. So I actually have another doctor's appointment coming up this week, middle of this week, and we will know more about which direction. Yeah, Melissa. Like I said earlier in the stream, I'm thinking about doing vlogs, on this. So yeah, that information will be, available. And something else I've learned and also confirmed with the doctors is that, one of my questions is, well, what was the risk factor for this? What could possibly cause this to happen? Uh, you know, and they said, they don't really know of any significant risk factors, but it seems that, it can be a genetic or hereditary thing. They do see it kind of run in family. But it's funny that these type of masks on the kidneys are caught 90% of the time, are caught incidentally. Someone goes in for another problem, they do an abdominal CT scan, and they find them. 90% of them. That just shows that they don't show symptoms. It's like, I've got this 3-inch thing, on top of my kidney in my back, and I don't know it. There's no sign, there's no bulge, there's no hard spot, there's no pain, there's no tenderness, there's no physical evidence that it's there other than what's showing up on a scan, which that blows me away. That something that large, could be physically detected by my body. But I guess that's a good thing, because if it was cancer, most likely it would, have other symptoms involved. And I'm just going to go back and read over some of the comments. Oh, CJ, thank you. I appreciate that offer. Thank you, John. I appreciate that. So yeah, so also in my research, this is kind of an interesting little fact, is that in the textbooks there are uh, 54 recorded cases of large adrenal masses that are non-functional. They're apparently rare, and the last case that was reported on was of a 28-year-old female, and she had a 7.0 centimeter non-functional adrenal mass, and pretty much, it was unremarkable in that respect, and of course had it removed, and She made a full recovery, blah blah blah. But it put her up into the medical record books because I think she was a 54th case, if I remember correctly, well, based on what I was reading, anyways, out of one of the medical journals. Uh, and so if mine turns out to be a non-functional one at 7.5 centimeters, I might end up taking the record for it. So, I think that's where my brain goes with all this. It's just amazing. I am a little apprehensive. Don't get me wrong, but it's it's a challenge for me. It's a puzzle. It's an adventure. And see, that's I look at everything in life as an adventure. The good, the bad. It's an experience, and that's one of the main reasons why I think we're all here is to experience it. Because think about it this way: if there was no one here to experience the universe, then why would the universe exist at all? Yeah, it's one of those little mind twisters, I guess. That's funny, Lady Di. Um, Basically, what actually I've got to talk to my doctor about this because last time in the doctor appointment, my doctor told me to expect to be in the hospital 2 to 4 days, depending on my pain tolerance. But then I received an email from the office telling me to expect to be in the hospital 7 to 14 days. So I really don't know how long I'm going to be in there. My plan will be to be in there as the least amount of time necessary. And I do have a high pain tolerance already. Um, so we will get in and out as quickly as possible. So, but total recovery time is probably going to be at least, 3 to 4 weeks, I would think, um, because they are going to be creating a very large hole inside me. And so I was told to expect, a drainage tube as well. And I'm not very happy about that, but, it is what it is. Yeah, yeah. Well, gallbladder is different than this. Gallbladder, they're doing now laparoscopically. So it's basically just a couple little holes they poke in you, blow you full of air, go in, snip, snip, pull it out, deflate you, and you're done. Um, However, this is basically kidney surgery. So I don't know if they're going to do this laparoscopically or if they're going to have to go in to do a decision or an incision. I haven't actually found out that, but I would suspect just based on the location, what it is, etc., and the amount of tissue that they're going to have to take, there's definitely going to be an incision in the left back. Um, so that's going to, yeah, that's going to suck. Yeah, Todd, actually, they actually have already prescribed me oxycodone for the abdominal pain. But I don't have an addictive personality. Actually, I hate pain medication. I don't like feeling discognitive. When I went to the emergency room, doubled over in abdominal pain, could hardly stand. Uh, they offered me morphine, and I told the ER doctor, no, thank you. I want to remain cognitive so I know what's going on. And she just kind of looked at me like, okay, sucks to be you. Yeah, I was like, well, hey, that's me. What can I say? So yeah, so basically what all this means for the update and all that good stuff is that it's basically just that it's going to be little to no content dealing with Hawaii. So doing Hawaii is going on vacation, so to speak, and is going to be taking and what will be taking its place temporarily is Charles's vlogs. Because I do kind of want to share this with everybody, and because I think it's going to be an interesting experience. I mean, I'm already having an interesting experience. I mean, being put into the CT machine twice was actually kind of fun. And I have to admit, when I was in the emergency room and they did the abdominal CT, they did a abdominal with contrast and auto enhance. And when they injected me with the contrast dye, it creates a warm sensation in the pelvic area. And they even warned me, that you may feel like that you're wetting yourself, but you're not, which I thought was hilarious. And they were right. It did kind of feel like that. So I don't know if anyone's had a CT with Donald's CT with contrast and experienced that, but I'd be curious to hear, whether you had the same physical sensations. BJ, I don't think they're actually going to remove the whole kidney. It's an adrenal mass, not a kidney mass. So they're going to take the mass and the adrenal gland, but the kidney doesn't seem to be compromised. Uh, so far, from what I can tell by the CT and what they're saying, is that the tumor itself seems to be pretty well encapsulated. So it's just kind of right there on its own and not grown into or attached to anything else, which is a good, very good sign. So I really believe that this is probably just a functional tumor. I don't believe it to be adrenal carcinoma, and but because of other symptoms, I do believe it to be functional versus non-functional. But we'll know when the blood test comes back. So you've had a CT with contrast, Melissa? Yeah, but it's only the CT where they hook you up to the IV and they inject you with the contrast stuff that you get that sensation. When I had my lung scan, it was no contrast, no IV. They basically just laid me down on the table, stuck me in the machine, lifted me up, pushed me in and out a few times while the thing began to spin, and that was it. I mean, it was like a whole 5 minutes in and out thing. Yeah, no worry about that, Todd. I got it under control. Yeah, BJ, it might. So, like I said earlier in the stream, they may end up doing some type of hormone therapy just to kind of balance me out because they're looking for high cortisol level hormones right now, um, and even just with the high cortisol versus testosterone and some of the other ones, uh, that a cortisol crash could make me feel bad. So they're gonna. I really don't know all the details on what they're gonna do for that because we don't know yet whether it's functional or not functional. We're waiting on those blood tests come back. But if the blood tests come back showing that I've developed Cushing syndrome, then we absolutely know that it is a functional tumor. Thank you, Sharon. I appreciate that. Yes, Todd, I have done my homework. That's what I've been focusing most of my time on because I haven't had the ability to run around. I actually did try last weekend, or yeah, I think it was last weekend. I wanted to go out to the end of Kahukai, uh, down where the lava river crosses, because that was one of the areas that I focused on a lot during the eruption. The fountains and all the cracks down there on the road. I was fascinated by that area and how it changed geologically. Um, but I haven't really been down that way since the end of the eruption. So I went down to do a video and I was going to drone it. And just walking out, across the lava field down the road path, just took all my energy. I didn't even get to drone. I was just too fatigued to drone, which would make it unsafe to do so. So pulled the plug on the whole video venture and came back home. Actually, CJ, no biopsy. Doctors concerned that if it's adrenal carcinoma, that a biopsy could end up leading to the needle path being seeded with cancer cells, which could potentially lead to it metastasizing around my body. So currently, the surgery is scheduled as a wide radial resection. Oh, looks like David left. Bye, David. Sorry, I didn't see the message where you were leaving. So yes, Lady Di. The getting to the waterfall under the bridge and on top of the waterfall videos that I did a couple weeks ago. I guess it's been a couple weeks ago now. Uh, while I was in Hilo, killing time between errands. That's what the errands were. I was seeing the local surgeon here and getting blood tests done. So I was in between, when I did those videos, it was in between the blood test and the doctor's appointment. And then after I did the videos, I went and got lunch while I waited for the doctor to see me. Just so you know. So that's what I was doing there. So I can talk about that one now. During that waterfall was amazing. Oh my god! But I'll be honest with you, I shouldn't have done that because by the time I got back up the cliff, my stamina levels were gone, my energy levels were gone. Like it took way too much out of me, and that's why I'm having troubles with doing content for the channel. I just don't have the energy levels to do it. Thank you, Storm Lady. I am worried about the postings. I've become accustomed to talking to y'all and sharing things with y'all, and just because I'm going through this experience doesn't mean that has to stop. So it's just going to be a little bit less, and it's going to be a little bit different. Mom just had a biopsy. Well, it depends on what type of mass it is. Actually, I think someone said that already. Uh, you know, but this mass, the risk was too great because it being so large. A mass this size, usually most doctors, when they see it on a CT scan or some other imaging, that's where their brains go. Oh my God, this is one of the biggest cancerous things I've ever seen, even though it may not be cancer. But that's what we're looking at, and we're going to find out. Well, that's a good question, Sue. How long have I had the symptoms, and what were they? Uh, well, see, that's the thing. They weren't anything out of the ordinary. Just stuff that seemed like I was just getting older. Some aches and pains. Uh, you know, weight control issues. Um, fatigue, headaches. Uh, Sometimes a little nausea and dizziness. But that could be blood sugar, and blood pressure stuff. So basically, what it seems to be, and again, we don't know, but with the Cushing syndrome is it actually weird. I mean, I've read a couple different things, and one says that weight gain is usually one of the biggest symptoms of Cushing's syndrome, but yet there's another area where weight loss, and so I think I'm on that side, but I'm not showing all the symptoms of Cushing's. Um, so I may not have developed actual Cushing syndrome from elevated cortisol levels. It could be a different hormone that I'm having elevated rates of, which could be a testosterone or even adrenaline, because I've always been a hyperactive individual up until the last 10, 15 years. And that's when I've noticed that my energy levels have really, really dropped. And y'all have probably heard me say this on streams before, when I'm co hosting over on Scott's channel or something. Like, if I only had a fraction of the energy Scott did, I could set the world on fire. Uh, and it's just because lately I don't have those energy levels, and but I never really gave it much thought. Yes, Todd, I am going to continue doing the Hawaii volcano watch reports. Again, like I said, those are something that don't require me to have to go out and do filming and do field work and all that stuff. Most of that's gotten from the USGS reports, visual observations of imagery that I'm able to come across, that they post or other people may post. So yeah, I'm going to continue trying to do those, but again, it's only going to be once a month, pretty much the way that they have been. But the supplemental content is going to be basically the vlog on this adventure, and so I've got to actually go to Oahu for the surgery because they don't have the facilities on this island to do that. Yeah, all things Harbor. That's the one thing I'm bummed out the most about is this whole COVID stuff with me having to do this. Um, I just that's the one thing I don't want to do. I'm sorry, I don't want to stick one of those swabs up my nose, and I'm going to resist that test as much as I possibly can because as soon as they stick it in my nose, I'm going to start sneezing. That's just the way it works. Last time I had a nasal swab, I started sneezing and I sneezed for like 2 or 3 minutes. No, Todd, we got it all under control. Thank you. Hello, Jack and Luke. Yeah, if you just get in here, you really need to go back and watch the rest of the stream. There's a lot of information I've shared about what's going on and what the updates are all about. So, as it when it comes to social media, I'm not sure what I'll be posting there. Storm Lady, I don't know, and I hope they do the throat swabs because they're not gonna like it if they stick it up my nose. They're just not gonna like it. Yeah, and I know it's fast. I've seen it, but my nose is sensitive. When I was young, I suffered from sinusitis, a lot. So my nose don't like any foreign objects. Period. It don't like dust. It don't like allergens. It don't like cotton swabs. Well, Sue, unfortunately, there's no way I'm cutting sugar out of my life. Not gonna happen. Um, I I'm not even going to go into that one. Just that I understand that that's what a lot of people think, but a lot of people think a lot of things, and I don't necessarily agree with that because sugar is in a lot of foods naturally. Glucose, and you find it in oranges and strawberries and cherries and grapes and pineapples and you know, and of course, obviously, sugar cane. So, but I do limit my consumption to the best of my ability. It's one reason why I don't eat a lot of fast food is because what a lot of people don't realize is they put a lot of sugar in both the bread and the condiments and the meats and stuff like that, depending on restaurant. So I try to avoid those when I can. So I'm going back to just reading over some of the comments. Uh, they could do. Yes, Jan, they could do with inventing another test. But actually, they do have one. I'm not sure how they take the sample, but it's the antigen test. So I think that's the throat swab one. I'm not sure. So, anyways, everybody, that pretty much does it. That's the story. I either have a non-functional tumor, a functional tumor, which is a hormone producer, or potential adrenal carcinoma. And we will find out here really soon which one of those three are. But it does not matter what three it is because it's coming out anyways. And I do have the a date for surgery already, but I'm not going to share that information just yet because it might be subject to change. Um, so, real quick, let's go over what happens after surgery. If it is just a non functioning tumor, it's just going to be pretty much it's going to be pretty much recovery. It's just going to be pretty much recovering from the surgery. There won't be any hormone issues or adrenal production issues or anything like that, other than letting my body balance itself back out and heal up the big old hole that'll be left behind. If it turns out to be a functioning tumor, which is producing hormones, then obviously there's going to be some other post-surgery care and treatment that will have to take place dealing with because all of a sudden all that extra hormone or hormones that are being produced, those levels will drop and that could cause other problems. So I'm sure the doctors will take care of that and do what's necessary there. And of course, the third being adrenal carcinoma. That means that after surgery, I will probably have to do radiation chemotherapy, depending and on the pathology. So, once they do the surgery, the mass will be sent to pathology in order to determine what kind of, tumor. It will determine whether it's actually a cancerous growth or not. But so far, the scans I've had, which is now from the neck to the pelvis, show pretty much I'm clean. No signs of metastasized tumors or tissues anywhere, any of that. So it looks like we're going to be okay. It's just going to be a process, and I'll keep y'all updated on it. So thanks for tuning in for this live update. I will probably, I don't know. I'm not going to make any promises because I really just don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to take it day for day. So if I feel like streaming one day, I might pop in. So there's not going to be really much warning about it. I will try to help as much as possible. Well, with notifications. Like if I know for a fact I'm going to do a stream, I'll post something over on the Facebook page, and if I can schedule the stream in advance, I'll do that as well. So make sure you've hit that bell icon and selected all notifications. But I've had a few people complain that they've done that and they still don't get notifications. So sometimes on your phone, in your phone's notification settings, you have to go into the YouTube app in that, so phone settings, notifications, select the YouTube app and check the allowed settings there. It's really stupid the way they do that, but hey, that's the way technology works. So I guess that's it. I appreciate everybody. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to y'all again soon. And as I always say, have an amazing morning, afternoon, or evening. Oh, wait a minute before I go. Where are they? There they are. 1, 2, 3. Ha ha ha. Time for a snack.